If you had heard the fine young woman was saying to me, I'd swear to God she's lucky I didn't take her teeth and ram them the whole way down her throat. Do you not know it's bad manners to keep people waiting? Writing can wait. You're only writing listing names, aren't you?
You should have said.
You knew we were here. I ring it in shops now and they keep me waiting for no reason. It's just a lesson, you know, but they don't expect it.
Have you got an appointment?
Aye, for 2:30. It's now 2:15 by my watch. In a quarter of an hour, I'll be expecting to see Dr. Riley.
Well, we're running very late. You may have to wait a bit longer than 2:30.
Here! Have a bus to catch. It is crucial that my appointment's in time. You may tell Dr. Riley to get his finger out. He may literally get his finger out, eh?
Can I have your name?
Well, if you like. But you know, you could change your mind when you hear it. It's Rita Onions. Or Onions, if you prefer.
Is that Miss or Mrs. Onions?
It's divorced Rita Onions. What would you like? Mustard be more appropriate. Short for mother.
Would you take a seat?
Where to?
Will you sit down?
Aye. Tidier that way, aren't we?
Oh, come on, Reet. My feet are killing me after all that walking. Let's sit down.
We'll have a fag.
Nah, it's no smoking.
Here. In 15 minutes, I could find out I've 6 months to live. If I don't need a fag now, when do you?
I'm afraid there's no smoking.
Then why provide ashtrays? Bloody hypocrites.
The smoke may be offensive to other patients.
Oh, well, I'll ask them. Here. Is this smoke bothering anybody? I said, is this smoke bothering anybody? No? Good. Now, hands up who likes the smell of hospitals. The smoke wins by a clear, if not devastating majority.
I'm very sorry, dear. I forgot to bring me sample of water.
Were you definitely told to bring one at your last consultation?
Yes, I'm very sorry.
Well,
but
I'm sorry, but the hospital can't be expected to provide containers. That's why you're told to bring your own from home.
what'll I do then?
Well, I better make you another appointment. Will a fortnight today at the same time be all right?
No, it will not. Don't you worry, love, I'll sort you out. Here, has anybody got a bottle or a jar? Anything waterproof? Oh, it's only a drop of pee, for Christ's sake.
Well, let's do it.
No, it will not, Dolly. This lady couldn't pee into a tic-tac box, and neither could all the Corvettes. There's bound to be a bottle somewhere. Mon with me, Duck, I'll sort you out.
Are you a friend of hers?
I'm her best friend.
Does she always carry on like that? Or is she just in a bad mood?
She's always the same nowadays. It's not a bad mood. It's more... Now then, she did tell me. I've forgotten the word. Quite a long one. Not one you'd use every day. One of them.
Paranoia?
Nah, doesn't begin with a P. Although that's a type of word. You educated then?
No, not really. No, I used to clean for a doctor. He used to let me take home some of his books to read. Then one of my neighbours went funny during the change, you know. Oh, thought everybody was talking about her, saying her house smelt. I looked it up. It's called paranoia. Sort of stuck in my mind. Between you and me, her house did smell.
I wish I could remember that word. Still, Reed'll be back in a minute and she'll tell you.
It's quiet around here without her. She's like a one-woman show.
Aye, she's a case, isn't she? You wouldn't have known her last year. Her husband walked all over her. Got so bad she wouldn't leave the house. Kids did all the shopping. She sat by the fire watching telly all day and then cleaned the house over and over when the kids were in bed. Not normal, is it? Anyway, her doctor sent her to the Towers. He got an order from the court and she wouldn't go voluntary. Wouldn't leave the kids. But you should have seen her at the end. Like a wild woman she was. I had to go in and feed the kids and do the washing and all that. She sat in a chair, filthy, watching the telly. Didn't speak a word to nobody. And then, one night, one of the kids burnt themselves on the stove, making some toast. Reet never moved. Didn't turn her head. They took the kids away that night. In care, they call it. I told them I'd have them, but they said we was already overcrowded anyway. Reet goes into the tires like a zombie and comes out like you seen her today.
Did you have the electric shock?
Aye, but it wasn't that. It was the therapy group. Therapy. That's where they all sit around and tell everyone in the group what they really think. Really think. Like, say someone's got dirty teeth. They tell them, I think you should clean your teeth. Awful, isn't it? Or if they've got a boogie in their nose, they tell them. You tell them all about when you were a kid. If your husband drives you mad when he's eating, things you don't normally say to nobody. Well, Reet was quiet at first and didn't talk much. And then someone said her roots were showing through. She's not naturally that colour. Oh, but don't say anything. Well, Reet went wild. Called him everything from a pig to a cow. After that, she's been the same as you seen her today. Speaks her mind. Does things instead of sitting quiet.
She's a bit much though, doesn't she show you up?
Aye, she does. But she's been a good friend to me. For instance, my baker has been fiddling me for years. You know what they do. Charge you for cakes you haven't had and leaving bread you haven't ordered. Soon mounts up.
I'd have told him the first time it happened. You're daft to have put up with
Aye,
it.
some can, and some can't. I could never pluck up the courage. Reet made me tell him. She stood behind the door. I says, I shan't want no more bread. And he said, when? This week? No, never, says I. And then Reet shot out from behind the door and said, and she won't be paying you this week's bill neither. Take it out of what you fiddled from her over the years. Well, he didn't say a word, just got in his van and drove off. Oh, it was lovely not having him call every day, but I did feel a bit sorry for him.
There's a bugger, right. Who was it? Co-op?
Aye, how did you know?
What's she in for then?
She's not been right down below.
Ooh, waterworks?
Well, near there. Very near.
Baby trouble?
Not exactly baby trouble in that area.
Dropped, has it?
Has what dropped?
Her womb.
I think it's more stuck than dropped.
Stuck, eh? Never heard of that. I'm in for a drop myself. Oh, I've suffered in silence for years. Should have had it done years ago. But I didn't think the family would spare me from going into hospital. But serve the buggers right now. They can starve and they can do their own washing as well. If I don't have this operation, I'll cut my throat.
Here, this age of medical technology. And old age pensioners peeing into a Coca-Cola bottle using a Beano comic as a funnel. That'd look good in the paper, wouldn't it, dear? Tell you, I can see the results of the test now. Mrs. Canley's suffering from desperadinitis and barrel-to-peril syndrome.
I was telling this lady about you, Reet, since your therapy.
Oh, aye. She'll be thinking I'm a loony, dolly. All I do is speak me mate and tell the truth. It's good for you. That's what therapy means. Good for you. I bet all of us just sitting here thinking there's something wrong with us. We had a good chat. We'd walk out of here blooming with health.
Mrs. Lovett, would you go and sit in the cubicle? Mr. Riley won't keep you long.
Indeed he will keep her long. He's just got his tea and biscuits and lit up one of them wee cigars. I seen him through the crack in the door. Take your time, Mrs. Lovett. You know another thing? Don't put your feet in them stirrups. Let them learn to look at our faces first instead of our bums. It's undignified for all concerned.
Mrs. Onions, I must ask you not to interfere with medical matters. You are not qualified to give advice to these ladies.
And you are not qualified to give advice to me, you pompous snob. Making an old age pensioner pay into a Coke bottle.
Here it is, dear. I couldn't manage.
Is there enough? Don't worry, love. I can give you some of mine, sure. I'm quite confused the old sods.
That's enough. Will you sit down and shut up? You're getting all of this for free, you know. You shouldn't mock it. It's sacrilege. It's bad enough having to work with ill, disgusting people all day without having them been rude to me as well. I've had enough. I'm off, and I shall have to report you, Mrs. Onions.
Now you've done it, Reet.
Me? Well, she's obviously not suited to the job, is she? I'm just giving her a bit of training. Someday she might have a difficult patient to deal with. Anyway, she's gone now, so come on, let's talk, all of us. Here, move these benches round a bit so we can see each other proper. Here, light up your wee flags too if you want. There's Riley in there smoking a wee cigar. Well, comfy. Somebody's got to start the ball rolling or the wind dropping, eh? Here, do you mind this? Mommy, that lady's fat, isn't she? Slap! Uncle Ted, your ears stick out. Slap! Come on, admit it. Haven't we all done it? Taught the wains to tell the truth and clipped them right the ear hole when they did, eh? Will I start? Mrs. Connolly, dear, do you know your corset shows right through your dress? If I was you, I'd wear a corset away.
I've always worn it. It keeps me in and keeps my back straight. I wouldn't feel dressed without it.
Grib, what does she look like in it? Come on, the truth now.
It looks awful.
You can see every whalebone.
It's terrible. Go on, Mrs. Connolly, take it off. Let it all hang out.
I'll think about it, I promise. I'll give it some thought.
Good. Right, who's next? Here, you. You're not waiting to see the gynecologist anyway. Unless you're looking at sex change, eh?
If you don't mind, I am accompanying my wife, and I'd rather you didn't include us in your game.
Oh, this isn't a game, Duck. This is serious. Come on, let yourself go. You're as wound up as a milkman's alarm clock. Anyway, perhaps your wife would like to take part. Don't ask him. Would you like to take part? Are you mute, dear? Are you lip reading? If so, I'll say this very clearly one more time. Would you like to take part? Question mark.
I can speak, but if my husband doesn't want me to take part, then I won't.
Are my ears deceiving me? You've just set woman's liberation back 10 years. Oh, Christabel, what's it to be twirling in her grave?
Christabel Pankhurst.
Thank you, dear. Now you can tell me your name, can't you? Or will your hubby mine?
It's Mrs. Audrey Lemon.
Ha! Right there, wee Mickey. Onions and lemons, it's like a kid's song. Onions and lemons.
It's oranges.
That is it. I forbid you to speak another word to my wife. She leads an extremely shuttered life and has an extremely nervous disposition.
Oh, I get nerves now and again.
Audrey, does he always speak to you like this?
I suppose he does.
Today will be the last day, Audrey. You have my word.
It doesn't bother me. Not really.
Well, it bothers me, dear.
Audrey needs a firm hand. She can be very headstrong.
Well, by the look of her, she needs a firm something. Audrey, why are you here, love? Is there something wrong?
Audrey?
Go on, love.
James and I have been married 5 years.
Audrey!
And James has been waiting for babies to come along. And
Audrey!
Thomas will have this and his.
Audrey! I will not tell you again to not speak another word of our personal life to this woman.
James, Mrs. Onions is right. I ought to be allowed to speak if I want to.
Audrey, if you speak one more word, I shall be forced to leave. You can face the doctor on your own.
Please, James, it can't do any harm.
You gone mad. I told you to keep your mouth shut.
Well, I won't.
Shut up.
No.
Shut your mouth.
Piss off.
Audrey!
I might say the really bad word.
Think of your mother, Audrey!
Bugger.
God help you, Audrey.
You need his help more than I do.
I shall have to report you to the Brethren.
Oh, you can tell them to piss off too. I'm sick of seeing their miserable faces. No smoking, no drinking, no Christmas, not even a blood transfusion.
You've lost your faith, Audrey.
I never had it, James. Every week, trudging round preaching the message nobody wants to hear. I've seen their faces when they see who we are. And James, I don't believe we'll be saved in Armageddon. If it comes, we'll die like the rest of them.
You are condemned to everlasting death now. You know that, don't you? You're past saving. I'm going to have to leave because you are unclean. And you are an agent of the devil with your dyed hair and cigarettes.
Here! I am naturally this colour. I can show you my armpits if you like.
Oh, God, now you've really done it right.
Me? I didn't do nothing. She did it all herself. Good girl, Audrey. Have you been waiting long to tell him that?
5 years.
Do you feel better now, love?
Oh, I feel much better.
You look like a right miserable sod. You a Jehovah Witness.
I was until 5 minutes ago. I hope he never comes back. If he goes home today, I'll get a job, start again.
Good on you, girl. That's what I say.
Here. What about the doctor? Will you still see him?
There's no point. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just some men don't know about certain things.
What kind of certain things?
You know, intimate things.
She means sex.
Listen, love, some men just don't know how to go on. My husband was very slow in coming forward, and sure we had to practice quite a lot.
Are you telling me your husband dragged you down here for a checkup, and it's him that doesn't know how to go on?
Yes, he isn't doing it right.
What's he doing? Right. Is he one of them perverts? Right.
No, nothing like that. It's just, instead of putting it in here, he's putting it there.
What? In your belly button? Not so much making love as a bloody naval exercise. Why didn't you tell him?
I tried, but every time I tried to talk about sex, he'd leave the room. I never once saw him undressed. And he never saw me. He closed his eyes. It's his mother's fault. She brought him up to think women were dirty. Perhaps she told him babies were born out of your tummy button.
He must have been going round with his eyes and ears shut for years. Like those Japanese who think the war's still on.
Okay, but sure, it's sad, really. I mean, look at what he's been missing.
I shouldn't miss it. There's been no rockets firing or bells ringing for me. It's a quick grope on a Sunday afternoon when he comes home from the pub, stinking of beer. And me with an oxo cube in my hand, lying there thinking my meat's burning in the oven.
Oh, I'm all right there. I've got one of those pre-timers. My meat switches itself off.
Right. Before we get bogged down with self-cleaning ovens and automatic washing machines, let's get back to Audrey. So you think it's over, love? Starting out on your own? Well, don't worry. It can be done. Me and Dolly have done it. We've been around for years. We have a great time, don't we, Dolly? Just think. No more shirts to wash and iron. None of them big slimy hankies to wash. No dinner to be on the table dead on sits.
I sometimes miss my John. Late at night when Reed's gone home, the kids miss him. They're always asking when he's coming home. I have to keep making up new excuses. At the minute, he's drilling for oil in Bahrain.
Ah, that's a laugh. He couldn't fill his lighter without spilling it all over the place.
Oh, I'd have told the children it's not right keeping their hopes up.
Ah, but you see, Dolly here thinks he's coming back, don't you, Dolly? Thinks he's going to leave his posh flat and his page 3 bird to come back to a council house, 3 screaming weans and Raquel Welch here.
Honestly, Reed, sometimes you can be so cruel.
Cruel to be kind, Dolly. You know that.
I think I'm going to go now. I've got so much to do. I can't wait to get started. It's like being born again. I can please myself and do what I want. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Take care of yourself, love.
Bye.
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 Oh, I guess give it 6 months before she finds one of them boys from the Divine Light Mission. Or one of them Moonies. She's a natural victim, that one.
Just seems like a really nice girl.
Ah, they always are.
Who's next?
That's not how you do it. You have to start off with a general discussion. Then it gets more personal. We talk about politics.
Oh,
bless
no.
us,
Hate
no.
politics.
Right, no politics. We'll talk about Mrs. Thatcher.
Oh, she dresses lovely. And her hair always looks so nice. It's like she's just stepped out of the hairdressers.
That's 'cause she has, Dolly. But does she make a good Prime Minister?
Well, I noticed her voice has got a lot deeper since she started. Must be all that talking.
Nah, I reckon that's just for speeches and TV and stuff. Bet she talks different at home. Dennis, come and empty this filthy ashtray. Oh, I tell you what makes me laugh though. Now, nobody admits to voting for her.
Did you read in Woman that Mrs. Thatcher has never asked her husband about his first wife?
I didn't know he was married before.
Seriously, they've never talked about his first wife.
No, they haven't talked about her. Not once.
Oh, I would have wanted to know everything. What she had for breakfast. Did she have her own teeth? Everything.
Ah, but your politicians aren't normal, are they? I met one once, Christmas Bazaar. He says to me, "Do you live around here?" I says, "Aye." He says, "How nice, how nice." I says, "No, indeed it is not nice. This is where they put all the bad tenants." You know what? His eyes glazed over and he walked off.
Here, I seen John Hugh once when he came to our community centre. Jesus, wild bad teeth.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything. He just made a speech.
I met Ian Paisley. He was opening the local hardware shop. He's a lot shorter than you'd think. I doubt he doesn't eat much greens.
Am I in the right place?
Aye, and at the right time by the look of you. When are you due, love?
On the 29th. I'm overdue.
Oh, won't be long now. You've dropped.
Has it?
It's a boy. And you're obviously all at the front, so that means it's a boy. And I've never been wrong, honestly. I bet you £1 million it's a boy.
I don't mind what it is.
As long as it's all right.
I think they're going to induce me.
Oh, they will surely. Babies aren't allowed to be born in their own time nowadays.
Or at weekends.
Or late at night.
Except on Christmas Eve.
Or New Year's Day, so they can get in the paper. What's your name, love?
It's Linda. Linda with a Y.
I was induced with one of mine. You'll be all right.
Don't tell bloody lies, Dolly. You told me it was a nightmare. You screamed your head off.
Right.
I'm not taking part in no conspiracy. It's true. Some women have them like shelling peas. For others, it's painful. Even agonising. Ah, scream your bloody head off, love. You wouldn't care if they drove a steamroller over you.
It won't be like that for me. I've been to relaxation classes. There's no need for it to be painful. After all, it's a natural process.
So's toothache a natural process?
Oh, but there's no need to have a toothache if you take care of your teeth and go to the dentist regularly.
And you do?
Yes, of course.
Bet you bake your own bread, don't you? Brown bread with all them wee bits in it, am I right?
Yes. How did you know?
Seen the Guardian in your bag. My social worker's wife reads the Guardian. She looks a bit like you. She bakes her own bread. I know, for when he gets round my house, he's got all them wee bits stuck in between his teeth.
Oh, I know. You mean the whole grain.
Aye. He's always on at me to try it. But to be perfectly honest, I think you need to be a wee bit mental when you could just nip out and buy a sliced loaf.
I think she's right, dear. I mind having to bake bread and been there all day, mixing and kneading and keeping it out of drafts. And then washing it in the oven. 9 times out of 10, it turned out wrong.
It's like the dolly tub. You know where they say that it gets the sheets whiter? I say just bung it in the washing machine. Save yourself the time, I say.
Here, bet you're in a lot of committees, aren't you, love? Preserving things like.
Oh, not many. Mostly jam now.
Well, you look healthy. Let you take your iron tablets, don't you?
Yes.
Grow your own vegetables.
Yes.
Make your own clothes too, by the look of them. Shop at Sainsbury's.
You shop at Sainsbury's, right?
But I don't buy yogurt, Dolly.
But nor do I. I make my own.
See? I tell you, I knew it. Oh, she would, wouldn't she? Bet your library books is never overdue. So what are you calling this weigh-in then?
If it's a girl, Florrie. If it's a boy, Hereward.
Hereward! You're a wee sod!
They're both very old English names.
I used to have a dog called Florrie. Got distemper from the ferrets. Honest to God. We had a bit of put down.
Oh, when he gets to school, they'll kill poor Hereward. Have you thought about that?
Our child will be taught to tolerate the ignorance of others.
Oh, teach him boxing at the same time, love, for it'll do him more good. Are you all right, love?
She looks awful.
I think I might have wet myself.
Is it much?
It's still coming. I can't stop it.
Here! No need for your fancy breathing. It's only a show. You're not in proper labour yet.
Is her water's broken, right?
Oh, help me! Oh, dear bra! Shut up, Dolly! Not when she's like this. They'll think she's a lady. Linda! Calm down! Linda! If you don't calm down, I'm going to smack you right in the chops! 1, 2, 3! I'll fetch a wheelchair, Dolly. I'll take her up to maternity. Now, you all right? That's a good girl.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what come over me. I'm so frightened, though. Is it true it's so painful?
Aye, it's painful. But sure, you'll have a baby at the end of it. I think it's worth it.
I'm 2 boys myself. Sure hardly felt the thing. Maybe you'll be like me.
Oh, I might. Thank you. Thank you.
Come on, love.
I got it from the X-ray department next door.
Come on, Linda. Let's have you at it.
Now, you're going to be all right, pet. And I'll be thinking about you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Comfy.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right, let's go.
Look.
Say hi.
Good luck there, Linda.
What a to-do. And all over the water's breaking.
Not be long.
Seems like a nice scared.
Not be long till Florrie or Hereward hear them, will it?
Anyone want a drink? I don't normally in the day, but it's my birthday tomorrow.
What is it, Jen?
No, I'll not bother. Gin goes straight to my head. The last time I had gin, I made a fool of myself. I did a dance with my corsets and I used my teeth as castanets. 5 years ago now, Christmas, our endless party. And I only had a couple of glasses, so I'll not bother. But thanks anyway.
Go on.
Oh, no.
Have a wee go. Come.
Go on, keep us company.
Well, all right then. Just a wee one. Have we got a glass?
No, just swig it out of the bottle. All right. Take it easy. You still have to go in to see the doctor yet. You'll be stinking of gin.
No, it's all right if I don't go in. I only come to hear his voice. Oh, he's a lovely voice. So kind and gentle. Is he Scotch?
No, he's Irish. He's from Dublin. His name's Declan. I steamed open my letter to the GP, and it's signed Declan.
Oh, see Dolly's at the gin again.
How is she, right?
Ah, she's grand. I took her straight up and left to the labour ward. I tell you, they weren't too happy. Probably threw their whole schedule out having a baby born its own time. So, what are we talking about anyway?
I was just saying, I don't come to see Dr. Riley. I only just come to hear his voice. I know what's wrong with me. I don't need to come.
What's wrong?
Ah, you won't like it. People don't like to talk about it. You won't.
So you can tell us. Tell us anything.
All right, then.
Go on, love.
I've got carcinoma of the womb.
That sounds awful.
What is it? It's cancer by a posh name. But it's cancer. Can they do anything? You having treatment?
No, I've had the operation and I've had treatment, but when my hair started to fall out, I stopped that. I'm not dying bald. I've always had nice hair. And I take tablets for the pain. When it gets too much to bear, I'll take the whole lot and finish myself off. I really come to see Dr. Riley to find out how long I've got.
And does he tell you?
Well, as near as he can.
How long have you got then?
Should have been dead last week, according to him. Here, moment of another drink. Do you want one, Rita? You haven't had one yet.
Aye, I'll take one. Here's to you, love. I hope you enjoy what time you've got left. What's your name anyway?
Mrs. Connolly.
Your name, not your husband's name.
Evelyn!
Well, here's a toast to Evelyn. I hope you have a happy life. To Evelyn.
To Evelyn, may the wind always be at your back.
A toast to Evelyn. Lovely to meet you.
Oh, thank you, everyone. I wish I could say I'd had a happy life, but I can't think of anything, really. Except during the war. But everybody was happy during the war. Oh, it was nice when the boys were small. I'll miss seeing my grandchildren grow up. But that's about it. Makes you wonder why you're put on this earth.
I've often wondered that. Have you, Reed?
We're here to provide the next generation, that's all.
There must be more to it than that.
Well, if it's what Rita says about the next generation, I've done that. Now, we lived in a rough area, but my boys grew up nice, never no trouble with the police. And they both got good jobs. One has his own office.
There you go then. You've done your bit. More than I have. My kids isn't care. But I'm getting them back. As soon as I'm properly discharged from the towers. I see them 3 times a week, don't I, Dolly? Every time I see them, they say to me, "Can we come home today, Mum?"
Very hot in here. I think I'll have to take these corsets off. See that, gin? Went straight to my head. Now, but nothing to eat today. I'm going to nip into the cubicle here and take this corset off. If Dr. Riley wants to see me, tell him I'll not bother. I've had way too much to drink now. I couldn't keep my face straight.
Oh, Evelyn, do you want any help?
Could you give me a wee hand? Keep me from struggling here.
Yeah, well, you may come out here then. There's no room in there.
What if somebody comes in?
Ah, they can't lock you up for taking your corsets off. Come on. Oh, that's a lovely dress.
I got that in the jumble sale, Newton. It's worth the bus fare because everything's there is nice and clean.
We get all our stuff in Oxfam, don't we, Donna?
Not everything. Not underwear.
Oh, Christ, it's terrible. How do you get it on and off?
Oh, I'm used to it now. It doesn't take me long.
Oh, what do you look like?
I don't care. Do you know I once did a dance on my courses at a party and I'd had a few drinks? Telling Dolly and Mrs. Lovett here.
Come on, show us, Evelyn.
Come on, Evelyn. Do your dance now.
No, Reed. Not here. Not in a hospital.
Go on, we'll join in. We'll clap and all.
Come on, it's all yours, Evelyn.
Well, I'll have to take my teeth out first.
Give us some room.
Right here, I want the Sally Spain.
You are Rita Onions.
Right, onions.
I am the hospital administrator and I have received 2 complaints about your conduct this afternoon. It is alleged you have used bad language, smoked, rearranged furniture, abused patients, interfered in medical matters that are none of your concern. And now I see you're drinking gin. This place smells like a public bar.
Oh, I wouldn't know, for I only use the lounge myself.
Has my wife been to see the doctor yet?
No, and she doesn't need to. It's you that needs to. It could tell you the correct position for sexual intercourse.
Oh, stop it! Tell her to stop it! Oh!
Mr. Lemon, you're overwrought.
Go to my office. You take the left to the basement. One side of the lift, take a right. Carry along the corridor, take a second left. You'll see a door marked mortuary. My office is opposite. Go and make yourself a cup of tea. You will find the tea bags in the second drawer down of the desk. The key to the door is the back of the door marked with a 2. When you have finished your tea, please make sure that you lock the door and replace the keys.
Well, I'm not going, you know, till I see Dr. Riley.
It's Mr. Riley. He's a consultant.
Huh? Bloody brilliant! They sweat for 7 years to get the doctor in front of their name, and sweat another God knows how long to get it took back off again.
Mrs. Onions, I'm a very busy person. If you leave now, I'll make you another appointment for next week.
When I've seen the doctor. Sit down, Dolly, we're not going nowhere.
Why is this woman in her underwear?
She was changing to see the doctor.
Why is she clutching her teeth in her hand?
You ask her, she's not deaf and dumb. You see, she thought she might have to have an emergency operation. She should have been dead last week.
How sick. All 4 of you are drunk. Please leave now and come back at the same time next week, and I'll make sure I've extra staff to cope. The notice?
The ashtray.
For goodness sake, woman, get into that cubicle and get out of my sight. Get dressed. An old woman like you should be ashamed of yourself. What would your family think if they knew what you got up to? Perhaps they ought to know.
You carry on talking like that, and I'll break your wee scrawny neck.
Mrs. Onions, you're obviously an unstable personality. You have threatened me with violence. Me! I worked at the Towers, and I recognise an unstable personality when I see one.
No, she's better now. They got her
Shut
better.
up, Dolly!
Oh, you were in the Towers?
Aye.
Were you a voluntary patient?
Here, I'm not answering any more questions. I'll just sit here and wait to see the doctor.
Well, I will ring the Towers and I'll find out all about you. And they'll find out just how you've been conducting yourself since your release. They may want you back for an assessment. Who was your consultant at the Towers? You may as well tell me, I'll find out.
Can't pronounce it. It's full of Z's and K's. He's Polish. He's bloody nuts as well. He washes his hands the whole time he's talking to the patients. He's frightened their madness will contaminate him. He thinks it's catching.
It's probably Dr. Zedwensky. Like all brilliant men, he's got his own little eccentricities.
He's just plain nuts. And everyone knows it. They've been trying to get rid of him for years. And there he still is, in charge of all them unhappy people. Oh, you wait till I'm properly discharged from the Towers. I'll get rid of the mad old bastard.
You're not properly discharged?
Community care, they call it. I'm supposed to slot back into society without a ripple. I'm under the charge of a social worker. Nice man he is. Means well. But he's a bit preoccupied at the minute. He's having an affair with a female policeman. Wants to know should he leave the wife in Wales. He's asking my advice. So who's looking after her, eh?
Come with me to my office, dear. It's quite cosy with its rubber plant, electric coal fire, and I'll make you a nice cup of tea.
No, thanks. By the time you'd unlock them tea bags, I wouldn't be thirsty.
I completely understand. Your libido isn't ticking over quite at the right speed. Escalating VAT and all that.
Milk's gone up. The common market.
After the porter strike, I was a mere shell of my former self. How much easier life was when we all lived in caves.
Please take your hand off my shoulder.
A little support, dearie, that's all.
My bra gives me all the support I need. Take your bloody hand off my shoulder!
Leave her alone. Might be some years since I smacked anybody round the ear hole, but I haven't forgotten how it's done.
Let go of her. Let go of her. This woman's potentially dangerous, and it's more than my job's worth to let her roam this hospital at will.
I wouldn't make her mad. She's been to night school for kung fu, and she's really good.
Oh, I can see the headline in the newspaper now, 4 inches high. Old age pensioner degraded. Shock birth in waiting room. By the time the sun gets out of it, it'll be old age pensioner gives birth in a bottle.
But that wouldn't be true, Reet.
That doesn't matter in the paper, Dolly. Sometimes you're thick as 2 wee planks. Yeah!
Mrs. Onions, violence is a last resort of the ignorant. I will will not be intimidated by it or by you. A nice common sense chat like common sense people, that's all we need.
I am not a common sense person. I would sooner be a raving lunatic than have common sense.
What's going on? Are we playing charades?
Oh, I think it's judo, or one of them.
It's kung fu. They're fighting. She wants Rita to go for a cup of tea, but Rita doesn't want one.
Okay, can I interrupt a teeny mo? Does anybody know where my husband is? He's got the keys to the house and I can't get in. So silly.
Well, Rita made him cry. He's in her office drinking tea, and I think that's where we're all going to end up soon enough.
You want me to go and fetch him? I enjoy walking around without my corsets.
Well, Jay, I'd rather see him with Rita here. He's got a very violent tongue.
Ach, nobody was ever licked to death, Audrey. Fight back. You've done it once.
Would you go and fetch the porters, please, and ask somebody to call in the police? Reason has failed and it's now time to call in the civil authorities. Would you do that for me, dearie?
No. I don't feel like it.
Oh, this is too much. When old age pensioners won't do as they're told. It's anarchy! Anarchy! And who's going to tend the reins? Ask yourselves that. Oh, I feel a breakdown coming on. Do you mind if I sit down?
Do you want a drink? You look awful.
There, go on. Humanise yourself.
Oh, this is the climax of a disastrous day. I find myself 5 crates short of prunes in the kitchen supplies this morning. Then I discovered the date stamps in the back of the disposable inanimate packs ran out yesterday. And now the patients won't behave. I can't cope.
Are you going to cry? I've got a tissue if you are.
I might as well if you have one handy.
It's pathetic, isn't it? It's like watching a hot air balloon be let down.
Be fair, Rita. She has got a hard job.
Oh, aye. I mean, where would the hospital be without its prunes and enemas, eh?
Bunged up for a start.
He says he won't come in if Rita's here because he says she's mad.
Where is he?
Outside, but he's listening.
James, get in here. There's somebody needs spiritual guidance.
Audrey.
No. It's me. Here. James, I need you to tell me something, pet. Where do I go to catch this ark?
You don't catch it. It isn't a bus.
It's a boat.
I know that. But will it go up the stream? And how's your people going to get on it?
The Lord, Jehovah, will make provision for all his saved souls. Audrey not being among them, of course.
I don't like boats. I get seasick.
How big is this boat?
Big. So big it will sail over the inland waterways. It will sail over all your sinful bodies as we, the saved, lean over the side and watch as all you sinners and unbelievers gasp for your last breath in the foaming waters.
Oh, he's a lovely turn of phrase, hasn't he?
Will it go to Londonderry?
It will save all those who repent and put their souls in the hands of Jehovah, God.
Aye, but will it go to Londonderry?
I suppose it will once it's heard the rest of their promises.
Because I have a cousin lives in Londonderry. She's a Jehovah Witness, and she'll be wanting to get picked up. She's a right miserable sod, just like you.
Hey, Audrey wants her keys.
Yes, James, can I have the keys, please?
No, I am the householder. They are my keys.
My clothes are in the house, James. Give me the keys.
No, I bought those clothes with my money. They are my clothes.
James, you'd look silly in my clothes. They wouldn't fit you. Give me the keys.
No.
Give me the sodding keys!
Audrey, don't swear. Bring your mother.
Oh my God! Now there's a fight! I need a man. Where's Dr. Riley?
I haven't seen anybody around here all afternoon.
I haven't seen anybody with medical qualifications since I stepped foot in the place.
Give me the keys.
Mrs. Lovett, go on down to his office. See if he's still in there.
Give me the keys, James.
Me, Audrey, get off me.
Give me the keys. I need my clothes.
No, my clothes.
James,
Me, Audrey.
give me the keys.